Today we are going to begin with chapter number 9, that is Australia. Can you locate Australia in the world map? Here you are seeing. Okay, now let's start with the chapter. Australia is a country, a continent, and an island. Since Australia is on a single landmass, it is sometimes referred to as the island continent. As you see on the map here, it is a single landmass and a continent. It is also called an island. As you see here on the map that it is surrounded by water with the oceans from all sides. So next, Australia is the smallest continent and the sixth largest country in the world. If you see on this map, on this world map, you see these all other continents are larger than Australia. And among all these, Australia is the smallest continent. It is officially called the Commonwealth of Australia and is located in a region called Australasia. It is the only continent to lie entirely in the southern hemisphere. If you see on this map, you see this is the equator line and it is lying in the south of the earth. If you see that it is totally lying in the southern hemisphere. This is southern hemisphere and above the equator, that is northern hemisphere. Therefore, the seasons are opposite to what is experienced in the northern hemisphere. They celebrate a warm Christmas as it's summer during December. As Australia lies in the southern hemisphere, it has often been called the land down under. As it is said here, written here, that the seasons are opposite what is experienced in the northern hemisphere. They celebrate a warm Christmas as it's summer during December. As in December we have a winter. So because this continent is lying in the southern hemisphere and we are living in the northern hemisphere, so they have the opposite season. So when we have a winters, they have a summer, and so when the Christmas comes, they have a summer season. And this is the only continent or a country which is celebrating Christmas in the summers. Okay, now next, as it is also the only continent in the world that is also a single country. Australia is between the Indian Ocean, which is to the west, and the South Pacific Ocean, which is to its east. To its north is the Arafura Sea, and the Southern Sea lies to its south. If you see on this map, you see that here on the west is the Indian Ocean and in the east the South Pacific Ocean. Okay, so next, now its brief history. Australia, a brief history. Many people from Europe came here and explored the interiors of Australia. They discovered the Murray and Darling rivers and settled in the heart of Australia. So when they discovered gold, most of the British people came in Australia. And 1901, after much struggle, Australia gained dominant status. Dominant status means that the country was free, that they get free, but still was very close to Britain. The head of the country is the Queen of England. means that they were free, the country is free, but again the head of the country is the Queen of England. Australia developed further and immigrants from Europe, Great Britain, Greece and Italy arrived in 1950s and 1960s. Then from other part of the countries also people come here in the 1950s and 60s. Today, if we see the population of the Australia, only 4% original inhabitants are in the Australia, and the remaining population is from the different parts of the world, that is from Europe, Great Britain, Greece, Italy, etc.